Hi, Flosstube. Long time no see. I am here to give you some information I've got a little bit of everything today. I've got some FFOs, I've got another finish, and whips, 2 new starts, quite a bit of haul, and I'm looking for some assistance with my 2016 projects because I've got way more that I want to do than I can realistically do. So I'll be looking for some help there in your opinions on what I should really aim for next year. So let's go with the FFOs first, and then we'll go on from there. The first things I did was I did my first Christmas ornaments that I've never done this before. I did a set that were from Lizzie Kate. They were one of the Tiny Tidings sets. I don't remember which number it was. It might have been 19? I'm not sure. Anyway, I think they came out pretty good, all things considered. Each one has a little charm on it, or a bead. And then I just flat finished them with fabric on the back and a lot of glue. This has the little beads and the snowflakes. And this one has a little embellishment at the top of his hat. This looks like Rudolph's red nose is there, a little button. And Santa has a little button on the end of his hat there. So I thought those came out really well. I was quite proud of myself. A couple of them are going to be gifts. The others will, if I'd managed to get a tree up this year, they would have gone on my tree. But they will go in my box with all my ornaments for next year's tree. That's a good incentive. I also did this one. It was a Lizzie Kate. I don't remember the name of the pattern. I did it for a friend of mine. It's going to be a gift. The coffee cup turned out a little bit wonky, but I don't think she'll mind, and she'll know that it was the thought that counts. And then I got like coffee fabric to do the backing on it. I thought that was pretty cute. So, yeah, I like these. If you'll remember the last short video I did, I was upset and complaining about some framing work I had done. And I decided to just let it go for now. Somewhere down the future, I may try to take them apart and see if I can fix them or have somebody else fix them. But for now, I'm just going to leave them. But I did my first framings this year with a couple of small things, and I'll tell you, I can do this because these came out a heck of a lot straighter than the ones that I paid a whole bunch of money for. So I did this one. This is going to be a present. I love this one. They have a kitty who, well, it's the reason they can't have nice things, because this kitty is just very, he's not destructive, he's enthusiastic, and he's all over the place all the time. And they call him like the kitty from hell, but when they're gone and we cat sit for them, he is the sweetest kitty in the world. I think they just give him a bad rap. So this is going to be a little gift for them for Christmas. And I wanted to show it to you before I wrapped everything up, which will be tonight. And then I also did this one for my stepdaughter. I'm going to her birthday is December 30th. And my husband's going to go up to see her the middle of January for our granddaughter's birthday. So I'm going to have him take this up to her. She's a teacher. She's teaching 4th grade, I think, this year. So I thought that was kind of cute. And I like these little easy ones. But the framing, granted, I didn't do a mat or anything like that, but I can do this. So I'm going to work on improving my framing skills. And then my last finish, not an FFO yet, just finished it last night before last, is the Plum Street Samplers 12 Days of Christmas. And I really enjoyed this. By about the 10th day, I was ready for a new start. But it kept me busy, and I loved adding the gold sparkles to it. The only one that didn't have a crown was the 8 Maids of Milking, so I gave the cow a little crown so I could have some sparkle in all of them. And I'm going to make this one into a pillow. I've got some real pretty Christmas fabric. I just haven't gotten out the sewing machine yet, so that'll be nice, and that'll be out for next year too. So new starts, I have 3. The first one I have is from Country Cottage Needleworks, and it is Winter. I always like to have a small one going because most of mine are big projects. So this one is, so I've gotten close to half done, I think. And this one's going fast too. I really enjoy doing the letters and the words. And it also seems to give me incentive to do more, because I'll say, oh, I can do this one word, and then I say, well, but that didn't take long. I can do this little word, and before long, I've gotten a whole lot done. The other one I've started last night is Esther's Waves. But now I did 1 Jessica stitch. So that does count as a start. I think though that I'm going to go back, look at the pattern again, and do the first row of the cross stitch that is down below this first, and that will give me a better guide for the Jessica stitches, because I'm having a little bit of a hard time on the pattern trying to figure out how many over and up I need to go, because they go in a wave formation. So I think I'm going to do the cross stitch ones below that first, the second band, and then come back and work on the Jessica stitches. Then my final new start, since I talked to you guys, I am obsessed with, and I don't really want to do anything else but this. This is my first lavender and lace, and I am making some horrendously good progress, I think. I'm working on her skirt, and I've gotten far enough down that I started some of the sparkly. I'm using the Petite Treasure braid, which is a lot easier for me personally to work with than the Krennic. So, and this is the first time that I've done parking. Now I have a question on parking. I get it. I'm doing 10 by 10 squares, and it does seem to be going faster for me. But then my question is, when you start a 10 by 10 square, what do you start with? Do you start with the color that has the most stitches in that square, or the least number of stitches in that square? Or how is there do you have a preference on how you do that? Because that's one thing I'm still kind of struggling with, is what I should do first on each individual square. So if somebody could give me some advice on that, I'd really appreciate it. But I am just loving this. And the fabric is from Silk Weaver. Love the fabric, hate the customer service. And I think it's 28 count, which should fit all of the beads just fine. And I am going to do this, the petite treasure braid and the beads as I go along, because I'll just roll them up with some batting. I did that on a small chatelaine I did a couple of months ago, and it worked just fine. I had no problems with crushing any of the beads or any of them coming out or anything. So I'm going to continue to do that with this one also, and see some of the bling as it goes along. So there we go. That's my one question. I have one more. I will get to that in a minute. But haul. Let's talk about haul for a minute. So the last video I had where I talked about my unhappiness with my framing jobs, I did not show my face on the camera. And that was because, oh, glasses, sorry, I've probably been all glary the whole time I've been talking to you. That was because I'd had a little accident. You see my little scar on my forehead? That was about 8 stitches. In May, I started having some heart problems, and I've been in and out of the hospital a couple months, 2 different heart surgeries, but I'm feeling a lot better. The last surgery was in September. So right before Thanksgiving, but the one problem I've been having since I had the surgery with the new medications that I'm on is dizzy spells and getting dizzy when I stand up too fast, that kind of thing. So a little bit before Thanksgiving, I got up in the middle of the night, stood up too fast, and went down and hit my head on the wall. I got bruises. I didn't know I could have bruises there. I got bruises all over. I don't know how I managed to hit this side of my head and have a bruise on this hip and rack up my knee on the other side. I don't know how I did it. But I went down one time, felt better, got up, went down again. So that I spent a couple of days in the hospital then because I'm on blood thinners and I wanted to make sure I hadn't done anything anyway. So, but I've noticed since May, when I first started having problems, that for a while there I wasn't even stitching. I didn't feel like doing anything. You know, a trip to the grocery store and I was done for the day. I'd come home and I'd sleep for 3 hours. So I wasn't stitching, but I was buying because I wasn't going out of the house or anything. So I have bought a humongous amount of stash in the last 6-7 months, and I really, really need to stop doing that. So this is like my last hurrah, basically. I've got maybe 2 more things coming, packages coming, but they aren't humongous. So let me just show you what I've got. These came from Walmart, they came from eBay, they came from Stash Unload, they came from 123 Stitch, and and my local needlework store, but at this point I don't remember what came from where, so we'll just go through these real quick. I've got Janlin, I love these. These are cute, and they're just little kits. They come with the fabric and the thread. And I'm going to make this one for my friend who can't live without coffee, maybe for her birthday. I bought my first 2 Mill Hill kits. I'm not real enthused with the ornaments, but I love these little houses. And but I don't know whether I'm going to do them on the perforated paper or do them on Ada. I haven't decided yet. So I've got that one, and then I've got this, which is, what is this? Of course I can't read it without my glasses. Oh, that's post office. Post office. I think these are really cute, and I can see myself collecting all of these, but I'm going to force myself just to have these 2 until I actually do one and see if I actually like doing them or not. This one I got on sale at my L&S up in Tucson. Just a cute little Country Cottage Needleworks one. And, oh, also, while we're talking about that place, they have great deals on fabric. Sometimes, if you check their clearance bins. I got this. This is 16 count Ada in a sage green, 20 by 22 inches for $4.25. Now, I can find something to use that for. And this one is a linen 32 count blue wing, 18 by 27. I think that's really pretty for $7. So every time I go up there, I buy a couple of these with nothing in mind, but for that price, I can find something. Some of these, even that blue one, would look pretty using them. I bought some more of the Lizzie Kate Christmas ornaments for next year. Those were really fun to do, and they went really fast. Let me take this one out, and there's another set. And I got all of the embellishments, the little beads and buttons and stuff to go with those. This one is another Lizzie Kate. There's 4 different ones. The Seasons. Again, some cute, quick finishes. Easy gifts. Sue Hillis Designs. I got these. I'm obsessed with Christmas ones this year, obviously. And I don't remember where I got. Oh, I think I got all of these from the Stony Creek website. Christmas banner, which I think is really cute. And they're in the Village series. There's 4 different ones. I love these. I don't know whether I will ever do them, but I think they are so pretty. That's spring. And summer. And autumn. And winter. I just love those. So I don't know how big are they? Are they huge? No, they're not. On 28 count, the design size is only 5 inches by almost 18. So they are not huge. Those might be good travel ones because they'd be small enough to go in a hoop or a Q-snap. So, and then the last thing, well, next to last thing I'm going to show you is I got this. I tracked down this book, and I love this book. I've never had any of these, but there's probably 6 or 7 different things I would do in this. Some of the ones that are, I like this little bell pull. So I would definitely get more of these kinds of books. They're made by Craftways, and I did have to kind of track this one down. I think this is the latest one. I've seen other ones on eBay and Stash Unload prior years, but I would definitely get more of these. They're really nice books. And then I got my Fabric of the Month from Moe's. I've got 2 of them, which I wanted to I wasn't going to show you, but it's, no, you can't really see the colors very well. Oh, that was better. But these are the different fabric, but the same dye, and I was just amazed at how different they turned out. One's a 28 and one's a 32 count. This is the 32. And then it's the same color, but they are so different. I just thought that was really interesting. I've seen people say that different kinds of fabric take the dye different ways, but I've never actually seen it in person. And I was pretty amazed when I got them both, and they were so, so different. But I'm going to enjoy finding something to use those with. And then I got my first Fiberlicious silks. Oh my. I've got Autumn Allure, which are just beautiful. And then these are 18 skeins of blues and purples. And I'm doing Esther's Waves with the Fiberlicious too. But I don't remember the name of the grouping that I was. It was a peacock set. So it's fairly bright colors is what I'm going to do the Esther's Waves with. So that's my stash. I'm going to do my very best to cut those down in the future. This wasn't, well, there is more, but I'd have to dig for it, so I'm not going to do that. So this was enough to show you. Then the other thing I wanted to ask people about, let me just say, for 2006, so I'm going to work on Esther's Waves, the Celtic Christmas, and I'm going to do my first Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, Let's Go on an Adventure, Mystery Sal. I've never done one of these, but I've seen everybody else do them, so I wanted to give it a try. We'll see how that goes. So that starts January 15th. The one other that I know I'm going to do is I'm in the Sal for Santa's Village. And I'm going to do these all on one piece. Oh, hello! All on one piece of fabric. You want to say hi? Here, come here. Come here, say hi. Say hi. That's Princess. She just woke up. She's probably hungry. Yeah, okay. Come on, get down. There you go. Santa's Village. I'm going to do it all on one piece of fabric on this pale blue. It's a pale blue. I think it'll be really pretty. And I'm using all of the charted fabrics, which is, silks, not silks. They're crescent colors. There's some DMC. There's some Gentle Arts. So I will be starting that one on January 1st. So those are the ones that I know I'm going to do. But then there's this box of a bunch of different other ones. And I know realistically I can't even make a dent in this box. So let me just go through these real quick and I'll show you what I've got. This is the, get down, Spring Hearts I've got the set of this spring, summer, autumn, winter samplers. And these are fairly small, 28 count. They're only 4 by 11. So I don't think these are going to take a whole lot of time, but I really think they're pretty. And they use all kinds of sparkly krennic and beads. And I got these thanks to the lovely Array. Thank you so much. Along with several others in this box. And then I also have, I showed you the winter one from Country Cottage Needleworks that I'm working on. I have summer and spring and autumn. I have my Cardinal Christmas ball, which I did make a dent in this year, so I should probably try plugging away at that one. So I have, no, those are just little Lizzie Kates. Spring Quakers. I'm not real enthused about the fabric that they used. I don't have fabric for this, but I have all of the Valdani threads, which I would love to try to work with. I've never used any of those. And Afternoon in Paris. I think I had Afternoon in London too, but I don't think it made it into it didn't make the cut into this box. I have a Nora Corbett letter, it's the letter F, which is my last name, so I like to do that, and that's fairly small too, but it takes a lot of different beads. I think I'm into beading now. And thanks to Carolyn, I have this, which would be another Christmas goal for next year. And the only other things I have is I have my, which I showed you before, my Whip of Shame that's about a little over half done, that I'd really like to make some progress on. I have the almost all, I think I'm only missing one of the Prairie Schooler Santas. I did 2 this year, and I'd like to do a couple more during the year for next year. I didn't finish those yet. I don't think I'm going to make it this year. So I've got those to work on, and then I also have, thanks to the lovely Array, the Nantucket Girls Sampler, which I just love. I love the quotes on it, but I don't have anything for this one yet, but it made it into the box. So I really have no clue on these, which of these I'm going to start next year. I always have at least one small one going, so I will continue to do that. But as far as the big ones, I don't think that I can really pick now, but I'd like your advice. And I don't have a rotation right now, but I'm going to see if I can maybe try something like working on something for Monday through Friday and then working on something else, maybe a small one on the weekends, and then rotating to another big one Monday through Friday, that kind of thing. That might work for me. I don't think I can do, it wouldn't work for me to do a different one every day. I just don't think that that's for me. But a small one on the weekends, that might work. So I'm thinking about trying that in January. And I think that is about it. So if you have any opinions on which of these big ones I should work on next year, let me know in the comments. Oh, I had one question on the, and now I won't be able to find it, the Santa's Village. You can see it's got the snowflakes all up in here, and then there's snow down under here. Well, I'm wanting to use, for the first time, blending filament to give it a little sparkle, either in the snow or the snowflakes, or both. I haven't decided yet. But I have a question about how you use the blending filament. Do you use it with the thread, like one thread of filament and 2 of the thread, because this is done 2 over 2, with 1 of the filament with 2 of the threads, 2 of the filaments with 2 of the threads. Or I also read somewhere somebody said what they do is they do the white first, and then they go back and go over each stitch with the blending filament alone on top of the white stitches, and I think that might give it a little bit more sparkle. I've never used this stuff before, so I'd like some advice or some opinions on how you use the blending filament. I'd appreciate it if I could get some help with that, because I'm a newbie with this stuff. But I want to give this piece some sparkles. So, okay, I think that's about it. I will try to have more of a routine, but falling down and hitting my head kind of threw off my schedule. It threw off everything. Notice, no Christmas ornaments, no tree, no nothing this year. But we're still going to have a nice Christmas. I hope you do too. Everybody be safe if you're out there driving. And have a happy holiday season, a happy and safe New Year's. And I will probably see you the first week of January, and then I can show you what we've started. We've got like 50 or more people starting Santa's Village all on right around January 1st, so it's going to be fun to see everybody's progress and the changes that people are making to it. We have a Facebook group. It's Santa's Village SAL. If you'd like to join in, or even just watch our progress. You don't have to do it. You can just join in and see what everybody's doing, get some ideas of your own. So have a happy holiday, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.